Now, the Vice President-elect Jagdeep Dhankar is all set to take oath at the office at 12:30 p.m. today. And Dhankhar, who will also take over as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, will also be administered the oath by newly elected President Droupadi Murmu. Now, according to CNN News 18 sources, the Congress and the TMC are unlikely to attend the event, and Congress wants to give a political message keeping in mind Dhankhar's Rajasthan connection and the upcoming elections in the state. Now, in the case of the TMC, it's a well-known fact that West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee doesn't see eye to eye with Jagdeep Dhankar, owing to his continuous criticism of the Mamata government during his tenure as the West Bengal governor. Now I'm crossing over to my colleague Pallavi Ghosh to give us more details on this story. Pallavi, tell us more about the political messaging that the TMC and the Congress essentially want to portray by skipping the event.
No, it's just a Trinamool Congress which is not going to be attending the oath-taking ceremony of Jagdeep Dhankar, which is going to take place at 12:30. Very clear-cut. If you remember that it was a Trinamool Congress which had abstained from voting, and on the grounds that the Congress party had not taken them on board and had treated them very shabbily, and that had incurred a lot of speculation and also criticism from some within the opposition party that was the TMC going soft on the BJP. I think the main messaging which the Trinamool Congress wants to send out, that is definitely not soft. It's very interesting that when we go inside Rajya Sabha, the first party which is going to be sitting bank opposite Jagdeep Dhankar as the vice president is actually going to be the Trinamool Congress's Derek O'Brien, who is the leader of the house in Rajya Sabha. I think with TMC deciding to skip, is going to be a full-on confrontation between the TMC and the man who was once the governor of West Bengal, and his very poor, bitter equations with the Trinamool Congress and the West Bengal government is very well known.
Absolutely. Now, Pallavi, how do you think this was essentially going to change the political dynamic when it comes to the perception of Mamata's government in West Bengal? Because essentially you're skipping a big event. The vice president is going to be sworn in.
Yes, I mean, many would say that this is a lack of grace because he's a vice president of India. He occupies a constitutional post, and, he does not belong to any political party now, and it's time to forget your animosity. It's also interesting to know that Mamata Banerjee has been one of those few leaders who has actually not even congratulating him on Twitter. But I think, her style of politics is one which is always believed in a confrontation. And even the fact that he was a governor, he occupied a constitutional post over there, never made her or her party colleagues shy away from putting this allegation on him that he was merely a centre's agent. He was a BJP man who was occupying a constitutional position, and therefore he deserves scant respect.
All right. Now, Pallavi, can you also give us a little more clarity on the Congress's position here? You were saying that they're not going to skip an event, though sources had earlier told us that they were going to skip the event. Do you know why the change?
No, I mean, the Congress was planning to attend the swearing-in ceremony. I mean, if you remember, Rahul Gandhi and even Sonia Gandhi later sent a letter of congratulations to Jagdeep Dhankar. They were openly supporting Margaret Alva. They had set up their own candidate, but I think they also understand that these are constitutional nuances. You have to respect the position of, the person who occupies the chair.
All right, Pallavi, thank you so much for joining us and giving us those details. Now, I just wanted to point out to the viewers that that was essentially the VP-elect Jagdeep Dhankar paying tribute at Rajghat. Now, with this